All right, hello, ladies and gentlemen. I'm jumping in midway through what looks to be round one of Brancus versus Carl in the Winter Waves Open. I thought they were going to be starting at around 2 o'clock. It seems that they jumped the gun and started a little bit earlier. So I'm hoping that I can still provide some commentary that might be useful to people. I think I'll jump in a game room, and then if anyone wants to jump in with me, they are more than welcome to. I'm always open to having guest commentators because it's kind of lonely just guessing what's going on by myself. But so we got Carl has already taken 9 damage, but he has now free reign to punch with the thorns, the crab, another creeper, and snapper. So this is a huge hit. It looks like Brancus did not start with the meteor play. He used up the Lightbringer. I'm assuming he did first 5 it, but now he's going to be taking 12 damage to face. So this is a big hit. He's going to be on 6, and we'll have to see. Oh, no, it looks like Carl's actually going to be attacking the Fallen. So he's just going to try and clear up the board and take his time. But it'll be interesting to see if Brancus can still win in round 2 because he does have top of round. And as we know, Brennan can easily hit for 7 burn damage in one turn between Molten Gold, Final Cry, and Spirit Burn, depending on how the dice roll. And I'm just gonna. You can. Someone is asking if they're recording. You can jump in. So let's see if maybe Waves wants to co-host again. So yeah, so this is going to be then a total of 8 damage to face, and now the Fallen have been cleaned up. So, I mean, Brancus at least still has the Huntmaster and Salamander Monk on board, which is good because the Thorns will disappear. However, that being said, Carl will set up Thorns for round 2 because the Creeper will die first, and then the Thorns will pop on the tokens. So this is where the engine of Hope Creepers gets going, and he'll be able to potentially end it depending on what Brancus does. So it should be interesting. Obviously, Brancus got a decent roll. He got a ceremonial power for Final Cry and at least another ceremonial class for Spirit Burn. He only has the 1 frog, so he can't do a full 7 burn in one turn, and that still, even then, it wouldn't quite get him over the line. And now he might have to start playing it a little more defensively. If he did draw into a Sympathy Pain, then I think he's in a really good spot because he can sort of just wait it out. But Carl, at the same time, rolled into an Illusion Power. And so it'll be interesting to see whether Carl decides to use the spin down to protect his life total. Oh, okay, a choke comes out. So duplicate is off the board, and now Carl is in range of Oops All Burn round 2. Um, so that was a good draw for Brancus. That is going to at least stop the double snapper or a creeper and then double creeper into Brancus. So that was a nice play. Final Cry is meditated away. Oh, okay, and a Molten Gold is also meditated away. Let me pull up the discard piles. Okay, so 2 Final Cries are out. Third could still be up. Sympathy Pain is out, so there's still 2 more. Oops, that's the wrong pile. And there's still at least 2 Molten Golds available. Hopefully this is a decent display for everyone. Yeah, so I mean, this is going to be a very quick game. I don't expect this to last past round two. I suspect one of them is going to make the big punch and it's going to be over. Um, but right now, it could go either way. So that's exciting. This is kind of the matchup that Waves and I had discussed after watching Flora versus Tuxedo, just because these are currently the top two meta decks. And it's, we haven't really seen, excuse me. Oh, sorry, folks. I am currently quite sick. And so talking a lot is a little strenuous. All right. So Creeper comes down, followed by Raptor Herder for Brancus, which is probably really just more of a defensive setup, I would assume. But yeah, we shall see. I'm going to try and just mute myself for a second while I clear my throat. All right, I'm really hoping that terrible cough didn't come through. But yeah, this is this is probably showing, based off of the meditations, that he has Molten Gold, Final Cry, and Sympathy Pain. That would not be a stretch for him to draw into. Um, and I am really curious to see if Carl tries to delay that combo. But even he doesn't even need Sympathy Pain really to win. Like I said, if Brancus on his turn does Spirit Burn and Final Cry, that's 4, and he's got the Frog powers up to Molten Gold, that's game. So Carl has to decide now whether he thinks Brancus is holding the goods and whether he can spin those dice down and delay it potentially one more turn, because Carl doesn't have access, I don't think, to anything to really shut him out of it. He has Generosity for heal. Let me see if I can pull up Carl's list quickly, because I'm not sure how it differs from Tuxedo's. I know he has at least one double down, but I'm not really sure what other options Carl has here. It's getting a little tight. All right, so he just plays a Mirror Spirit book. That's not a good sign to me that Carl has anything, or he's really doubting that Brancus has the goods. We'll see now, because there'll be a Final Cry if one of these units dies. So Final Cry, he can still Spirit Burn, and then Carl doesn't have any units really on the board to punch back. I guess, what would Explosive Growth on Seedling would be 4. Now it'd only be 4 attack. That's not enough to get there. He still needs at least 2 turns.
Hello.
Oh, hey, who's jumping on?
Yeah.
Oh, Flora. Hey, what's up?
Hello.
So,
I missed the beginning of round 1. I think so did you.
yeah, they said they were starting at 2, and I was in the middle of putting my daughter down for a nap, and then turns out that they started early. So here we are. I'm hoping I have the stream up. I threw it up really quickly, hoping all the previous settings were correct. I don't know if anyone is listening.
I could
But
check it out for you.
yeah, I think this could be the turn that the game ends, which would be kind of funny.
Yes, it does look like it's up. Um,
Okay, so Carl is going for duplicated, or sorry, double down on creepers, and that's still. Let's see, does he have? No, he doesn't. He has Ocean's Gift, so no explosive growth, surprise play. All right, so let's see, is molten gold on the table? Yeah, no, Schmendrix, if you, oh, I think you're chatting privately. Shmeny asked if he's running explosive growth. So he is not, for those out there listening. Carl has a Huntmaster, Raptor Herder, and String Mage, an Ocean's Gift, and then his spells are Gates, Generosity, 3 Wrath, two Call Upon the Realms, and then Crescendo, the Double Down, which is now spent, Fate Reflection, Flash Strike, and Void Pulse.
oh, and there is the sympathy pain.
And there's the Sympathy Pain. So
And he met it up with that frog earlier.
yeah, he meted the frog, so it's either Molten. I guess he didn't have Final Cry because he would have played that before. Sorry, Fleur, can you talk? I was just going to check if your levels are actually being picked up.
Yeah.
Yeah, okay, I think
Uh,
they are. All
oh,
right.
and there
Oh,
it
boom.
is.
There it
That's the
is.
game. Jumped in right at the end. I
Yeah.
was a little surprised. Yeah, I'm pretty sure he started Meteor and didn't play it.
Yeah.
I was surprised by that.
It I'm not sure if that was him getting jumpy or not because that would have at least saved him, you know, well, I
Yeah,
mean if Carl hadn't cleaned up the board, it would have saved him nearly 12 damage. Uh,
yeah.
and I doubt the Lightbringer made up that value at all. So interesting
I
that he,
didn't see what he. I didn't see when he used it, but I need to actually try to scroll back and find that. Uh,
well, I mean, there you have it. Brancus, rookie coming in his first tournament with the JK deck, sweeping all the way to the finals, and in a very impressive style against great players. So now it's going to be another Creeper Brennan matchup going at the finals versus Tuxedo in this case. And it'll be interesting to see that one because Tuxedo's list is, I think, different enough that it can apply a lot more aggressive pressure, as we saw in your game, Flora, with
yeah,
running 3 double downs is a huge threat. Um, and I think Tuxedo is really much more like all in. I'm gonna try and race. And Tuxedo also has 3 molten golds, which allow him to close out the game, and he has 2 sympathy pains. So he has that burn reach, which Carl does not have. He doesn't have any burn reach. It's all a swing deck.
it's been super cool seeing Brancus's run here. Just super cool to see him come in and first tournament just run through with the Brennan deck, and maybe a little concerning about how strong the Brennan deck is, but he's also been playing it really well. And, I'm kind of glad to not have to play it in the finals.
Yeah, I mean, this is what like going back to Shuffle Bus. This is what Neil and Jesse had always sort of wanted to see is people just running the meta decks, the good decks, and you can't have a better illustration of, or a better example of a new player, new to Ashes, jumping into a competitive open list tournament, running that, the deck that has won the last 4 or 5 tournaments, and piloting it, and then making a clean run all the way to the end. I mean, that's the prime example of it's, obviously Brancus is piloting it well, but the deck is good. The
Yeah.
deck really helps make up for any misplays and can survive under a multitude of different matchups and still be strong. And what is this? This was round two, and he only used 6 dice. So that's a 16 dice win, which is, you know, average, I guess, for Brennan's deck, but very impressive. So, yeah, I mean, thanks for jumping in. I don't know if you have anything else you wanted to, you know, say, whether it's about this match or your last match or the tournament in general, but it was a quick one.
No, shout out to Waves for organizing. It's been really fun. I'm excited to watch the finals when they happen.
Yeah, hopefully for the finals, whenever that schedule is decided, I or someone else is available to commentate, and that it starts at the proposed schedule time so that we don't miss any of the action, because I assume that that match will also be at most 2 rounds and end quickly, unless somehow the draws and the rolls are unbelievably terrible for both sides.
All right, thanks for letting me jump in for the last turn of this. But
Yeah, well, next time, I'll keep doing this as long as other people are interested, or as long as other people want to host with me, because it's not too much fun doing it solo. And so yeah, anyone who wants to jump on, I'm throwing up the stream. We got it. So next time, just put your hand up and say, yeah, I'd love to join. And if I'm available, I can run it. All right. Thank you to anybody listening or watching, whether it's live or after the show is just up on YouTube. And we'll see you next time. Cheers.
hey,